Welcome back, everybody. We are doing a part 2 to all your guys' hot takes that were dropped in the community post a few days ago. If you have not watched the first video in this series, go take some time and watch that one. But if you want to keep going with this one, then I'll just briefly explain what we are doing. I'll be going over each hot take, breaking it down, and then giving my own opinion on the subject. Remember that everyone is entitled to their own opinion about the game, so let's keep it cordial in the comment section. I have also seen comments on the last hot take video. I will be getting to those, so look out for responses. If you all enjoyed today's video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and remember to check me out on Twitch. Yes, I know I say this every video, but I've been seeing more and more people tune into the streams, and we all have been having a great time live. So make sure to drop a follow over there as well. The Discord is where we all hang and where much of the community is. So if you have that, Discord that is, we'd love for you to be a part of the family. But besides that, let's get straight into the video. The first hot take we have is by MyCall1983, where they stated, considering the size of the current dev team, they are doing an amazing job. Plus, we have to remember that all this stuff is the groundwork for the next title. I 100% agree with this statement. I don't know how many times I have said this on the channel, but I wholeheartedly believe that Need for Speed Unbound is one of the best racing games that is out right now, better than Crew Motorfest and approaching the level of Forza Horizon 5, and the best Need for Speed game we have ever had. There is just no other Need for Speed game that has even come remotely close to the support this game gets, and the amount of content we continue to receive. The work that has gone into updates and creating more content for this game in general is typically done by a large studio where there are separate sections, each contributing towards the final product. At Criterion, they have like 10 people, maybe even less, considering that majority of all dev teams at EA are being pulled together to create a new Battlefield game that's coming out very soon. We have had constant volume updates with fresh new content, and with the upcoming Volume 9 soon to release, there is just so much more that is in store for Unbound. The dev team honestly deserves some time off with a gold star and a pat on the back for everything they have done. Now, this is not taken away from the fact that a lot of stuff could have been done better, especially at the start of the game. We all know Unbound has had its problems, and I am not telling you to forget those. But at the same time, we also need to give credit where credit is due. And looking at everything that is going on, we should be thankful that we don't have another Need for Speed Heat situation on our hands. Very nice take here. The second hot take is from Wagako19, and they said, cartoon/anime styled character and car effects. Thankfully, you could turn them to make it normal tire smoke. Why not make the whole world and cars like the cartoon aesthetic? It would have been a dope callback to Auto Modelista. The first thing I want to say is I like this take. A lot of people have turned away from Unbound due to how it looks, especially if coming from a grittier game like Heat, where the colors aren't as vibrant and things take a more realistic approach overall. I think they did not make everything super cartoony because they wanted a certain realistic aesthetic to still be associated with the game, while other things that are not super serious can be cartoony. They still understand that Need for Speed is not really a cartoon type of game, but at the same time, they wanted to put something into Unbound that would make it unique. I know that may not make a lot of sense, so let me try and break it down for you guys a little bit better. People want cars to look good as they can, right? They want them to be sharp, they want them to look good, to sound good. Just look how they do in real life. Criterion knows this, so they didn't make the cars cartoony. However, things that are less serious, like the tire smoke and the avatars, they figured people wouldn't really care about that as much, so they made them cartoony. Also remember that Need for Speed seems to be going in the direction of catering towards a younger audience, and with that comes putting things into the game to give the game a lighter, more fun feeling. I could agree that the cartoon effects may have been a bit much in the beginning of the game, but it weirdly has grown on a lot of the community as well as myself. This interesting mixture of cartoon and realism. I disagree that they should have made everything cartoony, as I think that would have been way too overkill. As stated before, Need for Speed Heat has a nice realistic look to it, and I'm glad they implemented the ability to go back to that feeling in Unbound. But what they have now is a great combination of the two, where neither the realistic side or the cartoon side are doing too much. Great take here though. The third take is from Mad J Man. He has a pretty spicy one here with, cars shouldn't be allowed to be put into classes below what you brought them in. Or what you bought them in, sorry. Yes, some cars are not viable in their default classes, but too many OP cars come from cars being downgraded. Testarossa and RSR&B, R8 and A+, to name a few. Where do we even begin? I feel that a lot of you have known me long enough to know that I do 100% disagree with this hot take, but for those who are still curious on the reasoning, I will break it down for you. The ability of moving cars into higher or lower tiers has brought a lot of trouble into the Need for Speed Unbound community, like the Ferrari and B-Class Catastrophe and the Golf. We aren't denying that. I am probably missing a few that completely broke the racing classes, but y'all get the point, right? However, the ability to move cars over to different classes has created a bigger community within racing and finding builds, I would argue as well. If every car was just stuck in their class, there wouldn't be any real engagement with engine swapping and finding the optimal car for each class. The engine options for cars would also have to be reworked completely, and a lot of them would probably have to be removed, since that is one of the first steps to raising or lowering a car's value in the tier system. You've already stated that some cars are not viable in the classes they come with, and that is 100% correct. If we just kept cars in their specific classes, then half of the car roster would be automatically unusable. What makes the cars good in their own right is the fact that they have the flexibility to be put in other classes that will make them good. If the Ford Raptor was stuck in S+, clearly it's going to get smoked, right? But what if we could bring it down to A or A+? Now it can be pretty good. This is not saying it will automatically become meta, but there's a chance it can now be used better than if it were just to be stuck in the tier that it was at. Also, racers need to use cars on a different type of track. The ability to have cars be used in B all the way up to S+ to experience how a car drives in each tier of racing is great. How does the car handle at lower speeds? How does the car handle at extreme speeds? The last point I want to make is even if cars couldn't be moved, they would still dominate in the classes they are in, so there is no way around that. The R8 would still dominate, the Testarossa would still dominate, the F40 and the 4GT would still be amazing. There's nothing to really stop that from happening, but overall, great spicy take. The fourth take is by Chris, who says the driving effects are the best part of customization since they add so much more style to your car. Now, we did touch on this already with the previous hot take, so I won't be going into too much detail repeating myself, but I will say I agree with this 100% from a customization and competitive standpoint. The ability to see your microdrifts has made the act of microdrifting so much easier, and I'm happy they seem to have recognized it as a somewhat real technique. On the customization aspect, it just gives your car so much more personality, and the fact that you could put any trail with any car paint is amazing. They have done such a great job with including more than just the base game ones and giving us new styles like the Tron looking trails and the regular non-animated colored tire smoke. Great take, Chris. We have our fifth hot take by my guy Victory, who said, Supercars should not be in Need for Speed. That is a very spicy take, very spicy. That might be on the same level as Tetsu saying the EMP needs a buff. I am in complete disagreement with you, man. Supercars bring a new level of speed and exclusiveness to Need for Speed games that I don't think they would have if every supercar just disappeared. Imagine a new Need for Speed title having 0 supercars, just older cars for the entire car selection. People want to experience racing in cars that cost millions of dollars. The cars that have been advertised as super exclusive racing machines. People want to drive that $10 million Bugatti that has been tuned to reach over 250 miles per hour. That Lamborghini that someone saw in real life the other day, maybe they want to customize one and race with it when they hop on the game later. Supercars bring not only a new level of excitement that would not be there if they didn't exist, but also bring in a new community of those who enjoy cars of that level. Not every person that plays Need for Speed is there for the old JDM cars, the muscle cars, and tuners. Now, should the game be completely taken over with supercars? No. I think there should be a good balance between the two and have enough variety in the car selection to make everyone happy, and that is where Unbound shine. We have enough older cars and newer cars to please both sides of the community. The next few games do need to be careful with catering towards that younger audience with the new flashy cars, because we don't want them to forget about the people who made the game popular in the first place. Those older cars do have history in the franchise and should stay, but removing supercars altogether, that wouldn't go too well in my opinion. I gotta disagree with you, but nice spicy take, Victory. The sixth hot take is from Wolfie Talkie, who says, Need for Speed Unbound is better than Need for Speed Heat. The short answer is, it is. Well, kind of. It depends on if you're looking for a great multiplayer experience or if you are looking for a great single player experience. This isn't even really a hot take in my opinion, but I know there are those on Reddit and in the Discord, make sure to join that by the way, who would 100% say it is a crazy take to have. Unbound has just way more going for it, and the only thing that Heat really has against Unbound is the story mode, hence why I say Heat is a better single player experience and pretty much nothing more. I have a whole video breaking down the different aspects of both games and comparing the two, so if you want a detailed reasoning on why I say Unbound is better, then make sure to check that out. Heat has been the same game since release, and though it may have a few more quality of life features and better cops than Unbound, we must look at things for what they are realistically, and the reality of it is that Heat has never been updated, and the content it has now is stale in a 2024 racing game world. Unbound is constantly dropping new volumes with fresh new content and new cars. We got the Hot Pursuit update, and then we had Drift and Drag before that, Before that, we had Audi being introduced into the game, and before that, we got PvP mode dropped on us. These are all multiplayer things, so that's why I said Unbound is better for those who seek a great multiplayer experience. Heat for single player and a great story with okay multiplayer, Unbound for a great multiplayer and pretty good story. Nice take overall, 100% agree with you. A few honorable mentions I want to cover are from Twizzy Tonka 22, who said the game bad, and Crispy, who said the cell shaded characters is actually good, but the driving effects is too intrusive. The vanilla ones, the newer ones, is better. And it's better to just put them in the photo mode effects. For Twizzy, I obviously disagree. This game is amazing in more ways than one. I have covered that in other videos and indirectly while breaking down some of these hot takes. However, I know a lot of people would agree with you. As for the driving effects, you guys know my stance on it as we covered it twice in this video. So I did want to include it, but didn't want to keep repeating myself. But I do agree that they did a great job on how the characters look. The trails is something that personally does not bother me, but I could understand why people would be bothered by it. But guys, this wraps up the Need for Speed Unbound Hot Takes Part 2 video. And I just want to say thanks to everyone who dropped hot takes under the community post. And another post asking for video suggestions is coming soon. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a follow and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video.